and Mr. Galletti, if you want to go ahead with item 1.01.
Our first item is construction update from the Palombo Group and 2BL.
Okay, you can do that, please. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll start with the design update.
Okay.
So we have a handout for you with the presentation that we're going to make, but we'll make it quick because I know you guys have a beautiful day out and then you guys want to get out of here. So the two buildings we have under construction is New Windsor and, I'm sorry, under design right now is New Windsor and CTE. So in New Windsor, we have good news. The SED has calculated their building aid units for the building. So the good thing is we are getting more than anticipated. So there's an additional 74 one-time building aid units that they will grant this building. When back when we were planning the project, we weren't expecting any. So that's really good news. I think they are currently waiting for the district to evaluate that and concur, and then they'll approve the project. So as far as we're concerned, Palumbo and CPL are committed to getting the project on the street by the end of the month, if we can get that full SED process going and get them approved. So
One quick question. What is a building aid unit transfer to, either in dollars or time or what?
Building aid units are usually tied to students, and that it's tied to dollars. So the more students you have, the more building aid that you have. So it's not really about how much square footage or how many buildings you have. It's really about how much enrollment you have. So when we were planning the project, the enrollment was going down, as many school districts in New York State are. So it's not, you're not an anomaly. So usually if enrollment is going down, SED will take a look at that when we're adding buildings or putting on additions and use that information in terms of how much building aid that they will give you. So this is the amount of money that they'll give back dollar for dollar that you spend on the project. So I think it's very good that we're getting some additional bonus money, so to speak.
That's very good. Yes.
So then for CTE.
Wait, before we go there, guys, any questions on the New Windsor design process? No. Good. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So for CTE, we're continuing to work through the design. I know you guys were on spring break last week, so we do need to schedule one more meeting just to review programming of, in particular, the veterinary animal science spaces. But we are looking for a June 2nd SED submission still. And then we'd like to have a review with the district the first week of May prior to that submission. So we're cranking along on that one as well.
Good. Any questions on CTE? No. Okay. That sounds good. Thank you very much.
Ready?
Now, yep.
So construction update, we'll start with Vales Gate over the spring break. Tremendous amount of work got done. We're very happy and proud of the work that we put in over those hours. So we worked 4 10-hour days. We knew that Friday was a good Friday, and we didn't want to inconvenience the school district in any way. So we worked the long hours 4 days in a row. Mechanically, we were able to get in there and finish all the line sets, and what they are, they're all the mechanical lines that go for your air conditioning between your air conditioning unit inside and the air conditioning unit outside. So every room was fitted out and completed with running those lines from one to the other. The ductwork in the cafeteria was also installed. So that was a pretty big feat, your spiral duct. We were able to get into the kitchen and do some demo work. What we did was we tore down the ceiling and had to replace some of the beams that were holding up the roof in order to support the new unit that goes on top of the roof. We were able to completely replace that in kind in 4 days. So that kind of got out of our way. So all this work really helps us, alleviate that big workload that we have over summertime and really try and get that building back to you guys as fast as possible, not to inconvenience when we have to put it all back together and the teachers coming back. So, and on the outside of the building, we're pretty much at a standstill. The roof is on, the facade is on, as you can see, go through the pictures. We're still vetting out the change orders inside the building for the design changes that occurred. We're hoping to have those wrapped up by the end of this week. We've heavily involved Carl with the negotiations between the contractor and ourselves to kind of expedite that. So, we're working on that and hopefully get that done soon. So that's it. That was pretty much spring break for Vales Gate.
Vales Gate. Any question on Vales Gate?
So as far as the change orders, how does that work between your office and the district? How
So-
does the review go?
So we collaborate together. So we review them, we really tear it apart in layman's terms, dollar for dollar. We check our own, we ask for backup. Everything has to be extremely detailed, broken out, and the backup has to be there. So for example, a metal stud, right? If they're saying that they're framing a wall, we calculate how many studs that would take, and then we concur with what he's got. We also compare the price to that stud to what he's asking for that, in return of that proposal. We do that for every little thing that's in there. And just most recently, which works out great, again, we did it with Carl. So myself and CPO sat down with Carl and we kind of reviewed it together, came up with a conclusion together, and then got the contractor on the phone and reviewed it with the contractor and kind of vetted out as one team, in lieu of just us, your consultants reviewing it and then giving it to the district as a recommendation. It works a lot better when Carl there. So.
Thank you.
I think when we talk about change orders, what's important, when you look at an $8.5 million contract that's at Vales Gate, industry standard would be you hold 5% for construction contingency. So 5% on 8 million is 400,000. Right now we're at $19,000 in change orders. So we're in a really strong position. There are changes coming up because we changed some of the programming, but we're in a great place financially with Vales. When you look at where we started 8.5, we're sitting right at 8.5, $19,000 in change orders. And we've really gotten out of the hard stuff. We've already gotten into the ceilings. We've already come out of the ground. The building is a new construction. And then the existing facility, we've already run, like Bill said, a lot of the line sets, a lot of the infrastructure for the new mechanical. So we've uncovered a lot of the sins, so to speak. So we're in a real strong position financially, which is great because we were budgeting. We're holding that 5% going into construction. If we're able to show that at the end we didn't have to spend that 400,000, that just goes to bottom line.
But I don't know if Mr. Skudon is asking also, there are maximums that the district can approve without going through this whole process, that there's someone for the district that can approve up to a certain amount.
Yeah,
And beyond that, then it's got to go through a larger process.
I just want to make sure everything is smooth. Things are running smooth, much smoother than in the past.
They are, and I do much appreciate that. So thank you.
Okay. Anything for Vales Gate? No? Okay. You want to go to Heritage?
So Heritage is probably my most excited one I'd like to talk about. I know we looked at that building and it kind of didn't seem like it was going anywhere for quite some time, but if you see it today, it's quite the difference. You have a roof on, all the framing is complete. The Dens glass, which is your sheeting, your exterior skin of the building, is complete. The block masonry, which is your facade of the building, will start on Monday. And then really it's interior fit out after that. It's sheetrock, electrical, mechanical, and a little tiny space in flooring. So the building has come a long way in a short amount of time, and I'm very excited to kind of, now you can picture what it looks like, you could see it, you could feel it. It's a little different than kind of looking at that concrete slab over a while. So tremendous amount of work went into the exterior addition, as well as the interior. So we also in the gym, we have a bunch of spiral for the new 4 mechanical units that went in there. We were able to hang all the spiral duct exposed in the ceiling. We didn't make any penetrations. We really didn't want to get into like tearing down walls and things like that over that break. We want to save that stuff to the summertime. The electrician also was there working 410s, and we were able to get into that space as well, into the gym, and continue the electric portion for all brand new units, as well as we were able to set a lot of the rooftop curbs, and with the anticipation of the AC units coming in the future, we can pick them right up onto the roof. So Other than that, that was our spring break.
Any questions on Heritage? Mr. Walker?
And again, I'll just bring up $8.2 million in awarded contract. Right now, we have $1,800 in change orders. Like, that's 1,800. That's all. Yes.
Hard to do.
That's very, very good. Very good. Okay. So that is it then for the construction update, correct? All right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Mr. Velez, 1.02 spring break maintenance update?
I want to give you an update of what we did in the district with our crew and with some contractors. The main job that we have for spring break was the installation of 22 windows at NFA. We're talking about the 22 windows for the last 2 years. We ordered them 18 months ago. They came, we did the abatement, we installed the windows. The window installation is 100% complete. There was some damage to the inside of the wall when we put the windows in 4 rooms. 2 are complete. The other 2 are going to get complete this weekend. That had cost to the contractors, not us. The abatement guy took too much concrete. So we installed the windows. They're going to come Saturday and finish. It's 1 in the music room and 1 in the stairwell. But all the windows are in. Everything is fine. I got to get shade for 1 classroom. Finally, NFA got all the windows done. We've been doing this for 4 years. We got them all in.
I think you need to bring Miss Cassie back for a day.
You know, I
With
sent her
a
a text.
video
Yes.
of her showing off the new windows.
Yes, I sent her a text. I go, I want to take a selfie with you in front of the last window. She said she's coming when it get warmer. So that was completed. It was supposed to be done over 2.5 days, but because of the abatement, it took 3.5. But it's all done. We did all the checking with asbestos. We did all the cleanups. It's all good. Second thing that we did, food service department ordered serving line for 5 schools, and we talked about that last month. The 5 schools are Velgate, Inley Avenue, Bombing School, Gunneton, and Horizons. They installed the new serving lines. Our 2 electricians did all the electrical work. They were completed. We finished that Thursday night. So the kitchens were ready for Monday.
Did 5 schools?
5 schools, serving lines, we did 5. Keelan ordered all the equipment, we just did the electrical. So the brunt of the work came through food service. We had to do things, no the installation, just the electrical. They came and they installed it. Velgate was delayed a little bit because of construction. They installed the serving lines, and the construction people took them apart because they want to get in the area to put the beams that he was talking about. So I brought in our crews Thursday night to do the electrical work. It was all completed. We tested. They were good to go. Also, and the most important that we did, we replaced all the MERV 13 filters in every classroom. We do it at spring break, so every classroom have all new MERV 13 filters. I have 1 more change in stock. I'm going to work with Ms. Roaring to going forward for next year to get more filters. We were able to secure 7 changes last year, so we're down to 1, which is good because it took out of our storage. Also at Westridge School, there were 3 broken windows and broken glass, so we fixed 3 plus 2 that was cracked. That was 5. We also reconditioned the baseball field in Guinea Avenue School. We brought in new infield dirt. We fixed the pitcher's mount. We have to, according to the coach, we had to go up 1/4 of an inch, which we're going to decide on that tomorrow. And right now we are reconditioning the field, the softball field between Guinea Avenue and North. That's going to be done by this Friday. That's it for last week. And for 4 days.
Pretty good. Yeah.
And on the filters, when you run out of the MERV 13, are you going to replace them with MERV 13, or is there a plan for different type of filter?
I'll tell you what I think we should do, but we haven't get there yet. I got to talk to Ms. Roaring. Most filter companies, even though the MERV 13 is very expensive, they recommend that we go down to a lower one because, and I have a company now that I want to invite for next month's meeting because they want to show you a demo that they done and they came and did it here. When you install a MERV 13 within 30 days, it's like a MERV 8 because they collect more dust. The OSHA is recommending to use MERV 10, 9, or 8 for schools. That's what the recommendation is. And the price is half if you go to a MERV 8. So what we did last month, we took some filters out of some units. And we have this company that wants to come and do business with us. And they test them. They bring this equipment, they test them. And we took 2 of the MERV filters, 8, and we put them on the schools. And when we test them, the MERV 8, it was as efficient as the MERV 13. So I'm going to add that person to come to next month's meeting so he can show you what it is. And I'm going to get a quote because we have to order 3,500 filters for the fall change. I have enough for the storage.
Are you saying that the MERV 13 became almost like a MERV 8?
Like a
after
MERV 8
1 month?
after 1 month.
What does the MERV 8 become after 1 month?
These guys, they filter and they use them now in Tuckahoe School, and they're gonna use them in Kingston. So I'm waiting for the school to start. Because of the fabric they use, they said it stay in MERV for 90 days. Now they put 2 in our schools and they are installed in North. When he comes next time, I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna compare that after 60 days.
How often do you change the filters?
We do it 4 times a year. Right now, I think next year we should go to 3.
Yeah.
Because number 1, because they're expensive. And number 2, the COVID regulations are going away. And to be honest with you, 3 times a year is enough because when you take them out, spring break, they are almost clean. They are almost like, they're clean because they don't have a lot of dust. So that's an exchange of filter that we throw out $38,000 that I could have used for another 60 days. So I'm gonna recommend that we do it in the summer, sometime in mid-November, and then it's spring break, 3 times a year. That's what I want to recommend, but I want to bring you more information next month.
Thank you, Mr. Walker, any other?
No, he asked me.
So going back to the filters, beside the number, meaning how much, I guess, dust it filters out, is there a recommended time frame that they be in?
Every company says 60 to 90 days. You can go up to 120 days, depend on the user.
It also depends on the environmental conditions in which that's operating. So if there are excessive points in the air of additional pollen or something else that make it used more quickly than they would during the winter is really the least amount of.
The word change is the one that we will do between now and June. They're going to be very dirty because we open windows.
So that was an additional question is we now have more outside air that we bring into all the buildings, right? So that I would assume brings more pollutants or whatever.
Another year that I'm doing this, the spring change is when you take them out, that's the work condition of the filter.
Okay.
If you think about it, spring's the real year, time of year you can really see particles in the air, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
That really is the time of year where the filters get used more quickly.
And one of the things that we've done to send the filters, now that we have the energy contract almost completed with the classrooms are done, is that we control the air in the classrooms. So we turn them off for several hours at night because there's nothing going on in the school. Why are you even running if there's nothing going on? So I start them at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm sure everything is clean. And every hour we change the air. Every 15 minutes you get fresh air, so I check the air. So because we use it less, before we start with all these regulations, you run the units 24 hours, but they were just direct from them. So now we control them and it's saving us a ton of money in filters. And this is the second year that we've done it, so you can see the difference.
All right. And you replaced the whole district?
Every classroom is done. I'm working this week at the gym because I only have 1 left and I had to go up high. But every classroom is done. And I got 9 gyms done. So by the end of this week, they will be changed.
Okay, but in a short period of time that's done.
4 days.
It's not spread out and
No, we did it in 4 days.
Okay.
And when we do it in December, we do it in the December break if I have to, or November Thanksgiving break. We come at night and we change them because a building like NFA or NFA North, between the two is 1,000 filters. Because they're huge.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And let's see, 1.03, summer work schedule.
Yes, for this summer, we gonna be a little more busy than before. Like the Palombo Group stated and CPL, they're gonna do major construction at Heritage and at Velscape. We are gonna have a 2 or 3 week window to clean those calls because of construction. Right now, Ms. Roaring and I are pushing them hard to be out of the building by August 18. That will give me 2 weeks to clean those buildings. And that's gonna be a big push for us because the amount of work they're doing in the building, it's gonna be hard for us to do the work. Last month, Ms. Roaring and I met with them and we put a schedule that we wanted to by August 18, and we recommend they do a second shift And a building like that, Heritage, for example, I said, why don't we start on the top floor? So when you get out of there, I can start cleaning my way down. In a meeting that we had this past Monday, they're pushing to change some of that. We're gonna push back. Ms. Florian and I met today and we're gonna request another meeting. They have to be up by the 18th in order for us to get the building ready, because not only I had to clean those two buildings, I had 3 schools in summer school. So it's 5 buildings that are affected.
Mhm.
So the first couple of weeks of the summer, the staff from Heritage and Velsky, I'm gonna put in all the schools to get those schools done faster. Same thing at NFA, NFA North, they're gonna have summer school. So I'm gonna do regular cleaning, but I'm not gonna do the full cleaning, so some of the staff go to those schools. And at the end of the summer, I take staff from the schools that are ready and bring them to those schools. But instead of 3, it's going to be 5. So I wanna make sure that I let you know that it's gonna be a heavy push. Ms. Roding and I want to push very hard to get them by the 18th. My choice would be a week earlier, but I don't know if we can get that, because it's gonna be a major push for us to get those buildings ready. If they go past the 18th, we'll get them ready, but we're gonna have to hire a cleaning company. It's gonna get a lot of stuff involved. So I want to make sure that the board knows that Kimberly and I are in the middle of the pushback to get this. We gotta get it built, and they gotta give it to us early.
But also in reference to staff in that building too, they should know what's going on if they're not gonna be able to get in there.
So there have been updates continually with the building principals. They've done faculty meetings at Valesgate. They're scheduled to do another meeting at Valesgate, I believe, at the May faculty meeting with Ms. Briscoe Perez and her team. And they've been providing them updates on where they are and what they anticipate being. We are monitored very closely because we have gotten a lot of pushback about turning it over by August 18th. And we know what that means for the staff and the students and the readiness of the building. So we're, as Mr. Blood said, pushing back very hard on getting that August 18th date.
What, I mean, what would be their reasons for not being able to give you the building back by then? I mean, do they have a specific thing, like we're waiting for the switch or whatever that was?
So their rationale goes back to a calendar that was approved without consultation with either of us as to when the timeline is that the work must be completed. And that is not August 18th. It is later.
And these 2 projects, they started last summer, so they should be ahead of where they are. They keep saying they are on schedule. I know in their mind, they're on schedule, but in our mind, they're not, because we gotta get full
They're
credit.
on our schedule, they're on their schedule.
And we all know that the teachers want to come to work a week early to get the classrooms ready and all that, so
All right. Any questions on this item, anyone? Is there more for summer, or that was the?
no, just wanted to let you know
Okay.
that by the meeting in June, and give you what we're doing at work. I just want to
Okay.
give you an update on that Ms. Rory and I are
On the-
fighting the fight to get the building ready. And we're
Okay.
starting early, we're starting now. Actually, we started 2 months ago.
Yeah.
With meetings.
Okay, good. All right, any other questions, guys? No, it's good. Okay,
Thank you very much.
meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.